Bitcoin right now sitting inside internal liquidity, external liquidity up on this level right here at 67,000. We're going to be mapping out exactly how we're handling this trade. Now, before we actually even get into it, folks, we got a standing order to open up a short at 67,000. Stop losses at 72. Our take profits at 55. 300. Going to walk you through all this. It's not a prediction. It's basically our trading plan. The order is placed on BTCC, the broker of our choice. Low fees, fast execution. Now, if you'd like to trade alongside of us in real time, join our free Telegram trading community. The link is in the description of every one of our videos. That's where we post every trade before it happens, entries, stop losses, profit targets, and updates as the market develops. The link is waiting for you. So welcome back, Crypto Crew. It is your boy, Tom, here, bringing you the hottest in Bitcoin and crypto action. If you like what you see, give us a like. Make sure you hit subscribe if you've been mad enough not to already. And make sure you come on over to X and follow us on X, where we talk about Bitcoin, crypto all day, every day. Because we're cryptomaniacs. And the information we give you is like an adrenaline shot with steroids. And you always leave with a frothy triple shot cappuccino. So, hey, if you're new here, my name is Tom, obviously. I've been trading for over 30 years on Wall Street trading floors. Today, I trade my own capital, and I work with the Merlin, the Trader Trading Group. We show you every position live, entries, stops, profit targets, and, of course, the losers and the winners. Our goal is simple. Show you exactly how we're positioning before the market moves, not after. We're documenting our journey to grow our trading account to $1 million, and we want to take you along for the ride. So you'll see the wins, the losses, the adjustments, and most importantly, the thought process behind every decision we make. Now let's get into the first chart. The Bitcoin trap is being set, in our opinion. Okay, now as we can see, we have an order actually sitting at $67,000 right now to go short. Most traders think markets move in straight lines. We know they don't. Markets move from liquidity pool to liquidity pool. So right now, Bitcoin is holding the $61,000, $62,000 region. As long as that support holds, we believe there's a very good chance that price continues pushing towards the $67,000. Now, here's where most traders get trapped. This is where most traders get trapped. If Bitcoin reaches 67, social media is going to start to explode with bullish calls. People are going to be talking about all-time new highs again. You'll hear influencers say the correction's over, but that is exactly what the market wants everyone to believe. That's why we're waiting. We're waiting there to take the short, not because we're blindly bearish, because that's what I believe, well, the reward begins to really outweigh the risk. So if we get filled at 67,000, we're going to be watching closely for signs of rejection. If sellers step in, I believe Bitcoin could begin another move lower towards the 62,000, potentially even breaking the 60, with our current target sitting at 55,003. Now, that's an irrationally exuberant target as the market looks right now, because we don't really know if we're going to be able to reach that level. 60,000's been a rock again. 62,000's been a rock. I'm going to take you all through that when we do the 4-hour Bitcoin chart. But here is basically what we are looking at right now. So every move, right, creates the next opportunity. The rally creates potentially the trap. Let me take you over to that chart and show you exactly what I'm talking about. Now, we gave this levels out for a few days now. We're saying there's a fair value gap up in this area right there, starting at 67,000 odd, moving all the way up to the 70,000. Okay, so now what we're thinking is marketplace is going to come up to 67, 66, 68, sorry, and then movement back down towards this eventually first support level at the 62,000. If that breaks, then we're coming back down into the main area where we also have dollar cost averaging levels that we've been showing you for the past few days now. Here's where we're looking. We're sitting right now in our dollar cost averaging zone. We're expecting just one more movement down. before the market actually makes the turn and goes higher. So we have a bull trap sitting up above us, folks. And that bull trap, we believe, sits at that fair value gap above. So this is what we're thinking, straight up. We're thinking a push approximately into the $67,000, $68,000 region where we think the bull trap starts to develop. Step two, we should get a rejection up there. The rejection should trigger a final lower liquidity sweep. My ideal accumulation area still remains between, say, 53 and 55,000, while already there's some buying interest beginning around 55 and again near like the $53,000 level. Why? Because I don't believe bottoms are formed when everyone feels comfortable. They're formed when fear is at the highest. Now, we have Trump that's going to be speaking tomorrow night in the United States, supposedly talking about election integrity. But you never know what could come out of his mouth to actually set the crypto markets afire. Also, he's actually going to be speaking once again, I believe on Friday, and it's going to be more about financial markets. So we got to keep our eye on that. Now, step three of the process, Bitcoin reclaims the major resistance zone, and that's when the trend basically could start to change and actually take us on that really beautiful bull run that everybody's been waiting for. But we just have to have patience, you know. Now, look, price needs to confirm all this. Then we can actually look for step four, the expansion. And that's where I believe Bitcoin has the potential to attack the all-time new highs. So every trap has its purpose. Every liquidity sweep transfers coins from the emotional traders into the stronger hands. That's why I never panic during corrections. Corrections absolutely create opportunity. Now, remember I showed you this roadmap that we had. I'm going to take you back to that chart right now. Here is our roadmap. Okay, we're expecting another dip lower, as we just said. I'm thinking we can get down to 55, 53 maybe. And then the marketplace can actually spring back up above these old lows. One more final push to a higher low before we actually break up through the 78,000 is actually the level. Okay, 78. Frank's got the zone between, I believe, 78 and 82. Yeah, he's got between 78 and 82. That's the level that actually needs to like punch through. And we're also, of course, keeping our eye on the 50 weekly moving average. As the marketplace is consolidating, the average is still approaching and starting to move lower, which is good because a punch up above that will actually send Bitcoin on its merry way to higher levels. All right, let's get into the 4-hour chart and let's talk about what's happening on the 4-hour chart. Before I get into the 4-hour, let me just go over the weekly levels for the week. Back in June, Bitcoin made a sweep below 58,000. Most traders thought it was finished. Instead, Bitcoin reclaimed the level and continued slightly higher. Today, we are trading at 65,160 right now. So we see current price, really the liquidity sits right around the $67,000 level. That there actually sits our major fair value gap between 68 and 71. On the downside, we're still watching support levels right here at the 62,000, 61,000 area. So right now, if we can hold above this level, okay, if we hold above it, the upside still remains alive. If we lose it, we're thinking that we can go back down towards the $60,000 level. Just now, we update these levels all the time. The numbers, you know, for our members in the free Telegram community, they receive updated levels as conditions change. They're not waiting for tomorrow. They're not waiting for my YouTube video the next day. They're seeing the adjustments in real time before the market actually gets there. So now let's get into, and it's also free to join, folks. Get in there. It's free to join. Now let's get into the 4-hour Bitcoin chart. All right. Gave you the technical levels yesterday. Obviously, this level right there was a perfect buy area that I suggested if you were a Bitcoin bull, you'd want to get long in this area. And look at the marketplace. Broke right up through the $64,000 short-term resistance, sitting right now at 65.1. Next level, short-term, really is right at 66,000. Major level is at 68. So as we stand right now, the support short-term is at the $64,000 level. If we break 64,000, most likely trading back down to actually this last bear movement right here. the 62.4. That would be actually a key price to actually break and actually move us back below the 62, potentially to like 61. I don't know, 61,000 even, something like that, 61,003. So right now, as it stands, Bitcoin is at upper resistance. We're looking for one more punch up to get us into that fair value gap where we are going to short it. I showed you the trade already. We're taking a short 67,000, stop loss 72,000. So what's happening right now? Right now, if you're not in it, like you could actually look to try to sell with us at the 67, put your stop with us or tighter stop if you like. You could time it better on like an hourly chart, potentially even if you want to zoom down into, the 15 minutes or the 5-minute charts to actually look for a place to actually get short with a tight stop loss. This is how we're marketing. This is actually how we're entering the marketplace right now. All right, so let's move on over to good old Ethereum. Ethereum has been strong, man. Ethereum has been very, very strong. So let's take it and let's go into the 4-hour chart and actually look at the levels. We gave you this chart weeks ago. We said the area of time was to lock in now. Everybody thought it was going down, right? We said we got to lock in. And, Frank got long Ethereum at a really good price. He's long at like 1,600 and like 10, I think. So he's nice movement up right now. Now, where we have the resistance really is at the 3,000, right? That's a longer term. Now, let's get into the short term and actually talk about where Ethereum is right now, what it can potentially do next. Yesterday, I believe I gave you a resistance point at 1,950. We reached 1,945. It hasn't come off hard yet at all. It's actually stabilizing. It's sitting right now at like 1916 right now. So main support for Ethereum short term is actually this level right here at 1,800. There's another level, obviously, right around 1,880. However, if Bitcoin does come off a bit, we could expect Ethereum to actually come back down into this zone. A break of that is actually opening up this area right here at 1715 to like 1750. That's a main level that needs to hold if Ethereum is actually going to punch up through that major $2,000 level. So all buys, should be looking at, down in this area right here, 1750. A break of 2,000, I would not be chasing any type of green candles at that point. I'd be waiting for a pullback. The pullback actually would be right around the $1,900 level, all the way down to 1845. That would be the area that you would actually have to actually look at Ethereum to say, hey, we potentially want to get long at this area with a tight stop to actually drive us back up. Look, right above 2,000. To go above 2,000, we're looking at really 2,050. So really the zone is between 2,000 and 2,050 on the 4-hour chart, where it should meet up with some decent resistance to actually push back down into the lower levels, maybe 1,850, maybe potentially even 1,800. So one step at a time. Make sure you get into our free pro group. Ethereum has been strong. So really the marketplace itself is thinking, Ethereum is taking off. But it's got to reclaim resistance with conviction. That's the issue. Can it hold above, the first level we have at 1,800 and 1,844? That's the next question. Okay. So if the chart confirms strength, I'm going to happily look for adding long opportunities into Ethereum. Same thing, with Bitcoin, we ourselves, as I said, we're getting short at 67. We're going to be looking for quick rejection. We will be updating levels in our free Telegram trading community, because if we get short and we start to see it stall right around 64, we may take a piece off. We may actually close it. So make sure you get into our free trading group. All right, so what do you got to do? Well, you definitely got to come on over to X. Follow us on X, where we talk about Bitcoin, crypto all day, every day. What else you got to do? Well, you got to trade with your head not over it. What else you got to do? You got to do your own research. As you know, I'm a trader just like you. I don't offer any financial advice, and I just got stopped out in sterling yen. So, losses happen. And finally, what else you have to do if you're a short-term trader? You got to enjoy the party, but dance near the door. I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.